Well, if I'm weak, so be it. I'm certainly not as strong as you, at least physically. But clearly I'm stronger mentally because I saw nothing for you to be offended at if you're Michael Bennett, a bit sensitive as far as I'm concerned. Let me be very, very clear. I said nothing disrespectful to this man, and I'm not apologizing. I said what I said. I meant what I meant. What are you talking about calling you on the phone? I have no problem doing that, but to say what? That I respectfully disagree with your position on Colin Kaepernick? That's all I was saying. What I'm pointing to is this, and I'll say it again for the umpteenth time because we have a lot of folks that can't seem to comprehend my position. I applauded Colin Kaepernick taking the stance that he took. I thought attention needed to be brought to what he wanted attention brought to. Racial oppression, prejudices, unfair practices in corporate America and the likes, some of the trials and tribulations, the plight of the black community and other minority communities throughout this country. What's there not to applaud with Colin Kaepernick as it pertained to that? I completely agreed. I spoke to Dr. Michael Eric Dyson about it. I spoke to Mark Lamont Hill and others about it while it was transpiring because Mark Lamont Hill and Colin Kaepernick are frat brothers. But in the end, when he decided that he doesn't vote and he publicized that, thereby coming across as if he were encouraging others not to do so, I happen to be a staunch believer in the fact that voting is the number one instrument of change that we have available to us in this country. Perfect example would be the president. We have African Americans and other minorities in this country talking about our vote don't count. It don't mean anything. Really? Well, if that's the case, how the hell did Donald Trump become president? Hillary Clinton got the popular vote, and you're saying, well, that proves that it didn't mean anything. Well, she knew where the Electoral College votes lied. In Pennsylvania, in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Ohio, you could have put forth your due diligence. You may have slipped in that regard, as she openly has confessed. The point of the matter is that even though you're taking areas into consideration and what have you, in the end, what it comes down to is that clearly your vote counts. And so when people stand up and they're in support of Colin Kaepernick without bringing about or mentioning that reality, I have an issue with that. I have no issue with Michael Bennett. I have no issue with Martellus Bennett, his brother. They have both been on our show. They're both highly intelligent individuals, very bright, very conscientious, and fearless. I got nothing but love for them. I didn't feel the need to call Michael Bennett because I didn't think I said anything offensive. What I pointed to was that you got three individuals who were civil rights workers in Mississippi who died trying to get African Americans registered to vote in the South. And that spearheaded the Voting Rights Act of 1965. I take history into consideration. It influences to some degree what my thinking is. And for the record, Max Kellerman, it's very important to mention, I've had people, mentors and advisors, even an idol like Bryant Gumbel, absolutely disagree with my position on Colin Kaepernick. I understand that. But we agree or disagree. But under no circumstances do I feel I said anything remotely disrespectful to Michael Bennett. So if he wants to turn around and call me names and all of this other stuff, big boy, you can be big physically, but you got to be big up here too and take it, because I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about his specific position on Colin Kaepernick as it pertained to him not wanting to vote. Nothing more to personalize it and get all of that and get all extra with it. You actually showing you little. I said what I said. I meant what I meant. I ain't backing up. I stand by what I feel. And damn it, that's the way it is. Nothing but love to and respect to that brother. But that's how I feel.
Plus, Michael Bennett said you all weak. That was your final take. Michael Bennett, why is he talking about me or Molly or anyone? We had nothing to do with that. But just to quickly talk about, you're talking about the sacrifices of people like Goodman, Schwerner, and Cheney. Not everyone has to say that they believe that sacrifice was worthwhile, right. But then that's what you're saying if you're talking about not voting. Bigger than that, Stephen A., we both supported Kaepernick in his protest right up until the point where he started talking about that there's no difference between the candidates. In other words, there was some kind of equivalency. They were equally not what he was talking about, so forget it. I thought that was an ignorant position to take as it relates to all kinds of issues that affect people of color, stop and frisk, federal appointees in terms of sentencing guidelines, all the war on drugs, all kinds of stuff that affect mass incarceration of people of color. The candidates had very different positions on it. To pretend that there was an equivalency was a very kind of underinformed or poorly concluded position to arrive at. And so at that point, we both criticized Kaepernick, but we were both in support of his protest. And I and Molly, and we had nothing to say about Michael Bennett. I don't know why he's going at us at all.
I don't know why either, but I'll close it, Molly, by saying this, a couple of things. Number one, I'll be looking for Michael Bennett's number today to call him. That's number one. And number two, I run from no damn body. I stand by what I say. I mean what I say. And by the way, if I'm wrong, I'll fess up to being wrong. But just because I'm wrong about something doesn't make me a bad guy any more than it makes him a bad guy for being wrong. We just respectfully disagree about one particular element involving Colin Kaepernick. To be petty and to get all personal with it, that's fine. I'll be looking for his number today. I will call him, and anybody that wants to come at me, I'm right here. I'm not backing up. I feel the way that I feel. Get the hell over it. It's what I do. I stand by what I say. Period.